I remember the exact moment I realized something had shifted between us. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, like a shadow crossing a familiar room. We were at Jenna's birthday party, crowded in that softly lit living room, laughter echoing over clinking glasses. I caught her glance across the room, smiling at someone, but it wasn't just a friendly smile. It lingered, and it didn't reach me. I tried to shake off the unease as I sipped my drink, telling myself I was imagining things. But then came the small signs, the ones that had been stacking quietly like an unreadable code. Her phone buzzing constantly, disappearing for long minutes with vague excuses, the faint tension in her voice when I asked who she was texting. Just work stuff, she'd say, too quickly, too easily. And me? I'd nod, forcing a laugh, willing myself to trust, even as a tiny, gnawing suspicion grew. Over the next weeks, it became impossible to ignore. Calls she didn't answer when I was around, sudden laughter at her phone when I walked in, a hastily closed app when I glanced at the screen. I questioned myself first. Maybe I was being paranoid, insecure. Maybe I was imagining this. But my gut tightened in ways it never had before, and memories I used to hold fondly, the quiet Sunday mornings, her hand brushing mine, suddenly felt heavy, as if they were being rewritten while I wasn't looking. That night, at Jenna's party, I couldn't hold it in any longer. We had stepped out onto the balcony to get some air, the cool night pressing against the tension in my chest. I looked at her, really looked, and felt my voice tighten. "Choose," I said, the words bitter, trembling. "Me or him, your best friend." She laughed, a short, sharp laugh that didn't reach her eyes. It cut me more deeply than any shouting ever could. "What are you talking about?" she asked, but her tone was too casual, too practiced. My heart pounded, a mix of fear and anger, confusion swirling into a dizzying storm. "You know exactly what I mean," I said, my hands trembling, the night air suddenly suffocating. "Don't pretend. Every time your phone buzzes, every time you disappear, it's him. Just admit it." She tilted her head, smirking now, the laughter gone but the disbelief still there. "You really think it's like that?" she asked. And that was when I realized it wasn't denial. It was amusement, the kind that's been hiding behind quiet dinners and I love yous for longer than I care to admit. Later, back home, I found the messages. Hidden threads on her phone, laughter that wasn't mine, pictures that shouldn't have existed. The betrayal was no longer a ghost in my mind. It was tangible, undeniable. I sat on the edge of our bed, phone in hand, staring at names I used to trust, my chest tight and aching. Each message felt like a punch I couldn't dodge, memories twisting into lies. Every whispered, "I love you." Every gentle touch now felt contaminated. I tried to confront her gently at first, needing her to see me, to see what she had done. But there was no remorse in her eyes, just rationalizations, excuses, and the sickening ease of someone used to hiding. "It's not what you think," she said, her voice measured, like she was describing someone else's life, not ours. And maybe it wasn't about right or wrong for her anymore. It was just about survival, selfish and precise. Anger surged through me, then collapsed into a quiet, hollow grief. I remember the nights we stayed up talking, the small breakfasts where we laughed over burnt toast, the way she'd rest her head on my shoulder. All of it was real, yes, but poisoned now by knowing it had been mirrored by deceit. Trust doesn't just break. It fractures silently, irreparably. I had to decide then, confrontation or collapse. I chose confrontation. But instead of shouting, I walked away, letting her laughter from the balcony that night echo behind me, leaving it with her. I packed my essentials while she slept, leaving a note, a simple truth. I loved you, but I could not stay where I was invisible, where my love was a joke. The morning was quiet. I stood at the door, keys in hand, listening to the soft breathing of the life we built, now gone. I didn't look back. The pain was sharp, immediate, but underneath it, I felt a strange relief, like breathing underwater and finally surfacing. Walking away didn't erase the love I'd felt, but reclaimed something equally important, myself. There's no grand victory in betrayal, only the slow rebuilding of dignity and trust in your own judgment. And while the memory of her laughter, the one that once meant joy and now meant mockery, will linger, so will this, the knowledge that I chose myself when it mattered most. Life doesn't pause for heartbreak. It keeps moving, stubborn and relentless. And so do I.